So, ladies and gentlemen, I just returned back from watching Avatar Fire and Ash, which was released yesterday on December the 19th. And the thing was, which I was worried about was that somehow I never ended up watching the part one and the part two, which I believe the first part came out in 2009 and part two came out much more recently. So I had no clue what this movie's theme was all about. I had a faint idea that there's some kind of aliens involved over here. So I did a brief look up on what the theme was all about for the part one and part two, and that really helped me to settle down very quickly into Avatar Fire and Ash, which is a third edition. So I would recommend that if you haven't watched the earlier parts of Avatar, do have a brief look up on the synopsis of the part one and part two, and that will also help you in settling down in the movie Avatar Fire and Ash, which is a third edition, pretty quickly, and you'll get the story much more quickly. But even if you don't read up on the part one and part two, eventually you'll get the idea. And the basic idea is that there is a planet called Pandora, and on that planet Pandora we have natives over there. So that native tribe is called Navi, and there's certain characters over there. And they're human beings, and human beings in this movie are the real villains because they want to colonize this planet called Pandora to obtain a superconductor over there called unobtainium. And therefore there's a fight between the human beings and the native tribes. Now there are multiple native tribes as well, so some of the native tribes collaborate with the human beings, and there's one native tribe called Navi, which is the main protagonist, and they defend themselves. And it's a magnum opus from James Cameron, the director, because the movie is 3 hours 17 minutes long, no less, and by any stretch of imagination and standards in the Hollywood, this is a pretty long movie. And therefore the movie, in spite of all its glorious scenes underwater, in the air, with the dragons flying as airships, the guns, the grenades, the bows and the arrows, the spiritual element, which really elevates and takes you to a higher plane of existence and a higher plane of movie watching. It's really wonderful. However, since the movie is so long, it does tend to drain you out a little bit. But then I realized that for the moments when I was feeling a little bit sleepy, because the dreamy music comes in and the emotional scenes which make you cozy, and you tend to go into that fuzzy world, and I was sometimes I felt that I was about to doze off. But then there's certain emotional scenes in the movie as well. A couple of scenes where a character is about to kill himself with a gun, or where a father is about to kill his own child with a knife because of the kind of circumstances, because if he doesn't kill the child, then the child can be used by human beings to colonize the whole of the planet. Those scenes really wake you up. And then another wonderful thing about the movie, you get a feeling that it's an animated movie, but it isn't. You get a feeling that that it's completely CGI, computer CGI, and yet you also get a feeling that it's live action. And I looked up the literature, and apparently the director James Cameron has said that it is 60% CGI and 40% live action acting. And then somehow using technology, he has combined these two to give the movie a feeling where it lies somewhere in the middle zone of neither being animated completely, nor you get a feeling that it is completely live action. So I think it's brilliant. And scenes which have been created by CGI are absolutely wonderful, especially those water scenes where the water is shimmering, and underwater scenes. It's amazing how much effort would have been put, even if technology would have been used, to recreate those scenes. So it's a magnum opus. Everybody deserves to experience this, and preferably in IMAX 3D, where I went. So overall, even though it's a long movie, but it's something to be experienced, and you don't want to miss it. So do go out to the theaters and watch this movie, and experience this technological wonder from James Cameron. And I went to the theaters with my daughter, just the two of us, in IMAX 3D at the Ambience Mall, Gurgaon, and it was fun. So let's ask Remjim her opinion of what she felt. So, ladies and gentlemen, we just returned watching Avatar Fire and Ash. The director was James Cameron, wonderful movie, and it was a daddy duo daughter. So, yours sincerely and my daughter Rimjam, who went to watch the movie. So, here's my daughter Rimjam, and we'll presently ask her opinion how the movie was all about Avatar Fire and Ash. So, Rimjam, say hi to the viewers.
Hi.
Well, okay, let's talk about Fire and Ash Avatar. This was third in the sequel since 2009. I hadn't watched the part 1 and part 2, so it was a completely brand new experience for me, and so was it for Rimjam. She had not watched the part 1 and part 2 either. So, Rimjam, did you understand the movie?
Yeah, I understand the movie a little bit.
Okay, so what was the movie all about? Can you tell our viewers what happened in the movie? What was it? What was the fight? What was the story?
But we don't have to say the full story.
Yeah, okay, we won't have to tell the full story, but can you tell a hint about the story?
I will give a hint. There was lots of fights in the air or in the water.
Okay. And was a fight between human beings or aliens?
It was like a little bit aliens, and inside it was human.
I see, right. And that's the movie shows some kind of humanoids. In fact, if I get it right, it's about a planet called Pandora where there's a Navi tribe where they are human-like creatures, almost like humanoids. And the actual human beings, using their company called RDA, Resource Development Authority, I believe, they want to capture and colonize this Pandora, the planet, along with the Navi tribe, because there's apparently $100 billion worth of superconductor material called unobtainium that you can get while reading the synopsis of part 1 and part 2. Part 3 continues with that struggle. So, Rimjam, who are your favorite characters from the movie?
My favorite characters from the movie is Loak.
Loak, who was the son of Jake Sully, right? Jake Sully was the main character, who's the father,
Jake.
right?
And
How about Spider?
yeah, Spider.
Right, and Spider uses a mask and all that?
Yes, because he couldn't breathe there because he was a human being.
Right, and he's a human being, and you'll get to know the story, how he comes into the tribe, the Navi tribe over there, and lives along with. So the story has some characters of human beings who have converted themselves genetically into the Navi tribe. And tell us about the fight scenes. Did you like the scene where Spider was about to be killed by his own father with a knife?
What? Yeah.
Right? And you were scared and you were shouting.
No, but I want to say something. Don't tell the full story.
Okay, but you were scared and you were shouting in the theater. I noticed that, please don't kill, please don't kill. You were really scared, right? Were there any girls in the movie also? Heroines? Yeah. There was one scary one, right? The villain. And when she used to have the gun in her hand, she used to feel so happy because they're natives and they've never seen a gun, right? So when she got a gun, she was so happy, right?
Yeah. And she was like partying with her friends or bodyguards, I don't know.
Okay. So do you recommend this movie? Would you recommend this movie to your friends and children of your age? Do you think they'll enjoy it?
Yes, they will enjoy.
Was it scary?
Little bit more, but not too much because there was like funny memes on there, like, I don't know.
Okay, and the movie was 197 minutes long, so it's a long movie by any standards of Hollywood, especially. But we are Hindi movie watchers, so we can face 3 hour worth movie. But this was 3 hours and 17 minutes. Do you think that was a very long movie?
Yeah.
Do you think the movie could have been made shorter a little bit?
I was thinking it would be like 2 hours and 39 minutes.
So you feel that the movie could have been shorter?
Yeah.
So let's say I hear that a couple of further parts of this movie will also come out soon in the future years. So Avatar part 4 and 5. So
and where is Akhanda 2?
We'll talk about Akhanda 2. Apparently it has run into some court cases. But if future parts of Avatar come out, would you look forward and run to the theaters to watch them?
Yeah.
All right. Any final thoughts about the movie which you want to tell our viewers? Would you recommend the movie? What did you like about it and so on? Final words.
So the fight scene was so like dangerous, and I was like, where is the like why she is like handy? No. I mean that when when the spider was going to jump and he was almost about to fall, but he landed safe.
Good, excellent. So you wholeheartedly recommend to everybody to watch this movie, right?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So that was Renjim's point of view.
Wait, but I want to say something. Don't judge the jump scare.
There are no jump scares in the movie. That's what I want to say. But there are a lot of fight scenes and they're very entertaining and all that. How was the music and all that? How was the music?
It was like the music was like a little emotional.
Nice. Okay, so that was a review from Renjim, and let's say bye to the audience. Bye-bye.
Bye.